Hey everyone, Selena here, Selena Baca Crochet. I got a brand new pattern and I'm here to tell you guys all about it. So if you're watching, come on over, say hey, say hello, don't be shy, tell me where you're viewing from. If you guys are just now seeing this brand new granny square hat for the first time, don't fret, it's because it's brand new. It's because this may be the first time you're seeing it. It's been with pattern testers for a little bit. I've got some awesome finished projects to show you from those amazing pattern testers. And I've got all the details so you guys can crochet this granny square hat. All right. So if you're new here, if you're like brand new, if you're like, who is this crochet hat person that I'm looking at right now? Hello. Again, I'm Selena Baca. I write patterns. And one of my favorite kind of patterns to redo over and over and over and over and over again is the granny square or the granny stitch. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it. It's classic, it's iconic. It's so fun to take this granny square, this granny stitch motif and turn it into lots of other things. So I'm at it again. I'm making more things with the granny square. So this pattern literally begins as a granny square, like a classic granny square. That's literally how you get this started. If you've never made a granny square before, this particular pattern comes with tons of resources. So it comes with a video tutorial that shows you exactly how to work a granny square from start to finish. There's also video tutorials on other aspects of this pattern. So if you're kind of brand new and you're learning the basics, if you need to see certain stitches worked, I've got video tutorials for you. If you're like, what's an adjustable loop? I've got a video tutorial for you. So lots of video tutorials to help you through the different aspects of creating a granny square or working up the different stitches for this hat. So it's kind of like a teaching tool, right? I love things like that. So another great thing that this pattern has is a stitch chart, and it is a stitch chart for that classic granny square, again, because that's how you get this hat started. So if you're looking to create a really cool fall winter hat, maybe this is it. If you're just kind of looking to build your skills, maybe you want to learn a granny square, maybe you want to learn how to read charts because you can only read written instructions, or vice versa, or maybe you're just looking for different ways to work granny squares, things like that. I mean, there's lots of different teaching tools in this. So lots of resources are included in this pattern. All right. Okay. So I did write this pattern with one of my brand new favorite yarns. Okay. It's not a brand new yarn, but it's been around for a minute. And it's seriously one of my favorites. I have so much of this yarn. I've used it so many times. It's Lion Brand yarn Hue and Me by Two of Wands. So awesome, awesome designer there, but also like super awesome yarn. This yarn is, let me give you the details. It is a bulky weight 5 yarn, but it is super plush and squishy. So it's not like stiff and heavy and things like that. So I've used this yarn for so many different things. I've made sweaters, I've made blankets, now I'm making hats with it. So really, I think it's such a versatile yarn. It's soft, it's cozy, it's comfortable. It does so many different things. You get 137 yards. Let's see what else. It is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. So you're getting the best of both worlds. It is not stiff. It is not scratchy, but it definitely will keep you warm and cozy, and it looks fantastic. So in addition to all of that, it comes in amazing colors, and I'm going to walk you guys through that in just a minute. Okay. We'll walk through I've got some resources. Okay. First and foremost, click on the link in the video description so that you guys can find this pattern on Ravelry. And if you guys are watching this, like as I'm debuting this video, there is a flash sale on this, no coupon needed. So do me a favor, add that pattern to your cart, see what happens. You'll thank me, I promise. If you guys do this within 24 hours of this video launching, you'll thank me. Again, just add it to your cart and you'll be like, wow, okay, all right. I promise. All right, so I had lots of different pattern testers working on this. So not only do I have amazing pictures from those pattern testers, but you can see this hat on different people, different ages. You can see different styles. So you can make this a little more fitted, or you can make this to where it looks it will be a little oversized. And really, that's a great style for so many different types of people. So what do I mean by types of people? Maybe you're the type person has like really big hair and you don't want to have hat hair, or maybe you have really big hair and you need a hat to fit your head Maybe you got a different head size and you don't want something that's going to be super fitted. So, I mean, really depending on how you like to wear your hats, your hairstyle, how you like things to fit on your head. I mean, there's, you know, you can play around with that, right? So this pattern does just come in one set of instructions, but there are different tips and different instructions for you to use the same yarn to make it a little slouchier or a little more fitted. Now, this isn't in the pattern, but another great tool for this, another great little teaching tool for this is if you guys want to play around with different yarns, definitely do that, because some of my pattern testers, here are some of the yarns that my pattern testers used. Of course, I use Lion Brand Hue and Me to write the pattern, and I made a few, love it so much. But you can use other yarns in this weight category, or you can kind of play around with it and make completely different sizes. Like if you wanted to make this super small, like for a child or a toddler, you really could arguably just use a smaller weight of yarn and just kind of measure as you go, and you can come up with something that you're really happy with. Loops and Threads Barcelona was used, Shep is Chunky Monkey, Premier Yarns Puzzle, Premier Yarns Bloom Chunky. I mean, really kind of play around in that weight 5 bulky category. But you really, you know, this is a pattern that you can kind of play around with hook size. You can play around with different yarn weights. It works up so quick and easy that I think that if you really wanted to make a different size for, you know, a different head size, like maybe a smaller person, or if you wanted to make it bigger, you could totally do that. It's very easy to do. All right, again, super, super shout out to all of my pattern testers who worked on this. I was so happy to see that you guys were so excited to make this hat, and I love all of these different yarns and colors and shapes and sizes and all of that. So some cool things about this hat as you're looking at it, again, it starts as a classic, 100% classic, like it is a granny square. It starts as a granny square. I did that on purpose, right? But it is not a square top hat. So it does evolve from there, and it is worked in joined rounds, and it definitely is not going to look like a square is on top of your head. And I did that on purpose. All right. So from there, you can add this brim. It does stick out just a little bit, just a hair. You can make it stick out more if you want, just by simply adding more of those repeating rounds, or you can omit it entirely and just kind of make this cap style. So that is very easy to do just by simply, you know, ignoring that section of the pattern that creates this brim. Or again, if you want it to be more prominent and larger, you can just, you know, kind of add some of those along. These are worked in rounds, which are super easy to do. Just use a stitch marker if you need help or have questions, or you're like, where does this go or where does that go? But I really love that it's a pretty seamless look. So you're not going to see this big ugly seam like, you know, on the pattern anywhere. So if you want to wear it straight ahead, or if you kind of want to, you know, put it to the side a little bit, kind of make it look a little skewed and a little cute, you can totally do that. And you don't have to worry about looking at a seam anywhere. This uses super basic stitches. So that granny square is worked with just chains and double crochet stitches. And the brim is created by you know, with much smaller stitches. You are working in the back loop sometimes, and you are working post stitches. So you're working around stitches just to create that raised texture and really make this brim a little bit more thick, a little bit more chunky, and just really kind of make it more prominent. The brim works really, really well with a yarn like Bulky Weight 5. So it really just kind of helps it to stand out and stand in place. And that way it's not flat on your forehead, and it's not going to be all floppy or anything like that. So I think this yarn is really works perfectly in that respect. I like to think that this hat is going to be for anyone who likes to wear hats. So I think that it's such a classic design that, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a boy or girl, or a man or a woman, or if you have long hair or short hair or big hair or flat hair. You know, if you like this style, if you like this hat, this really can be something for anybody who has got a head. So I hope you really dig it. All right. Okay. All of the finished projects, there they are. Again, cannot thank my pattern testers enough. Just great job, great work, great pictures. I love that they shared all the details so you can see what yarns they used and how they worked up and how they look on different head sizes and things like that. So again, I did find a shopping link for you guys to get Hue and Me. This hat, in any of the sizes, it really is just going to use one skein, like less than one skein. And I found this super awesome deal on Amazon. You can find a link in the video description. You can find all of the colors. I think that they have 20 of them. 30? Are there 30 different colors in this yarn? 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 30 colors, my friends. I love all of these colors. I think they look beautiful. This is definitely like my style. Love this. I love the, like, they're not jewel tones. They're a little bit heathered, but I think that there are some like lighter jewel tones. I love like this mustardy color. Oh my gosh. I love this color. This is Arrowwood. If you guys, if you know me and you've seen the Arrowwood throw, I named it after this color because I loved that name and I love that color. Anyway, that's another pattern we'll talk about in another day, but loved that so much. But seriously, there are colors here that I think are going to look fantastic with any wardrobe, like the blues and the purples. This cream one that I'm wearing, there are creamy browns, there are greens, there are just burgundies, like just so many fantastic colors. So that's another reason I chose this yarn to make this hat, because sometimes we find a yarn that we love and we love that yarn, but we're looking at the colors and we're like, I'm not wearing any of those. So I felt very differently about this hat. So if you want to check out this yarn, there is an awesome price on Amazon. So I've linked it up. You guys can view all 30 of the colors and you can get 3 packs of this yarn for an awesome deal. I've also seen this yarn in local yarn shops. So local to me is like Joann's or Hobby Lobby's. I know that I've definitely, not Hobby Lobby, I'm sorry, Joann's and Michael's. I know that I've definitely seen this in my local Joann's, and I think Michael's has it sometimes too, but it all depends on your shop. So if you do have one of those local yarn stores, definitely check it out. All right, guys, last thing I want to share with you guys is I do have a group community. If you're not in it, come on over and join. And if you are in it, come on over and click around, because not only do I tell you guys more about the flash sale that I have on this pattern, you don't even need a coupon. All you have to do is add it to your cart. So I've got all the links and details on that. I'm also hosting a giveaway, and you guys can only enter when you're in my group and you read those directions and all that kind of stuff. So definitely come on in for that giveaway and for this flash sale. All right. Okay, so I have just jumped on to tell you guys about this hat. This was not planned. This was not scheduled. So I see just a few of you guys are here. And the people who came by to say hello are people like Dawn. So Dawn, so good to see you. It looks like Elsie is here from Mumbai. So good to see you. Wow, thanks for checking in. And Dawn says the colors are beautiful. Yeah, I think that really just everything about this yarn. Again, I love the yarn weight. I love the way that it feels. I love the texture of the yarn. I love that the yarn looks a little heathered. I mean, it really kind of brings some depth and dimension, and it makes it look a little more like boutique. Such a beautiful yarn. It feels great. The price is great. The colors are great. I mean, really, I only have good things to say about this yarn. So if you have not used Lion Brand Hue and Me, I strongly suggest you check it out for this hat, if nothing else. And again, you guys can snag this hat today for next to nothing. So you guys can get that 3-pack and make at least 3 hats, probably more if you wanted to. So definitely check it out. All right, last shout out that I see here today is to Francis. Francis says, love this hat. Thanks so much. Thanks for checking in. And that's all I got for you guys today. I'm so excited about this hat. I have more granny square things in the works. I'm definitely taking the classic granny square and I am turning them into things that hopefully will make you love granny squares if you're uncertain and you think granny squares can only be blankets, or maybe you super love granny squares and you just want to do as many things as possible with them. So this hat is for you. It's for the people who love granny squares and who don't know they love granny squares yet. So there you have it. If you guys have any questions, comments, feedback, anything like that, I'm always just an email away, or you can drop a comment here and I'll get to you as soon as I see you. Can't wait for you guys to make this hat. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be one of your new favorites. I super love it. So I hope you super love it too. Thanks so much for watching. Peace, love, crochet, everybody. It's so great to be part of the crochet community. And thanks for giving this hat some love. All right, give it some love. See you later. Bye-bye.